Hi Year 6, this is Thursday's lessons, so the 4th of March, and today we're going to be finding the missing percentage. I'd like you to start off by doing your daily practice. Well done if you've been writing this in your book. We've seen some fantastic practice in your book, so please do this today. I want you to give yourself 10 minutes, like usual, and see how much you can do. Right, so well done if you pause the video to do your daily practice. I'd like to show you the success criteria for today. So today we're calculating the missing values. So we're doing percentages, but actually we want to find the whole today. So we'll be using bar models to reveal the maths, and we'll be applying skills to problem solve and reason. Okay, so some quick starters now. I want you to see if you can work out these. So 10% of 350. Number 2, 30% of 350. Number 3, 25% of 32. And number 4, 75% of 32. Again, remember they're all in pounds, so your answer will be in pounds. You can either choose to do these by finding 10% and then multiplying it, or you might know for some of them a little shortcut of how to work it out. For instance, number 3, I would expect some people to know that 25% means that that is 1/4. So you would be dividing 32 by 4. There's always shortcuts with percentages, so it's really important if you want to build up that speed that you start looking at the links between percentages and parts of a whole. So pause the video, give yourself 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put the next slide on so you can see the answers. Right, so on the next one, 10% of 350 should have got 35, 30%, 105, 25%. Remember I said that would have been 1/4, so dividing by 4, we've got 8. And to find 75%, some of you might have used another shortcut then. If you know that 25% is 8, which is 1/4, to find 3/4, you'd times 8 by 3 to get 24. If you're not sure of those shortcuts, then please watch the previous videos and go through some of the slides that I'm talking over and really see the links between your percentages and your fractions, because it'll help you loads in your maths. Right, so today this is a bit of a starter about what we are doing in our tasks. So here it says 50% of something is 250. So we've been told what 50% is, so I'm going to put that in my bar model straight away. 250 is half. We need to add our 2 halves together to work out what the whole is. So 250 add 250 is 500 altogether. So 50% of 500 is 250. Well done if you've been able to follow that. Next one then, it says 25% of something is 250. So that means I'm going to split something into quarters, and 1/4 is 250. Let's fill it all in because that'll help us. So 250 was 25% of a number, which means 250 was 1/4 of a number. What is 4 times 250? So you could do it as 250 add 250 is 500. 500 add 500 is 1,000. Well done if you got that. I've seen some really amazing maths this week, and I can see how hard lots of you are pushing yourself to achieve really well. Okay, so this is more of a problem-solving question now. So make sure you're listening carefully as I speak the question out loud. 30% of the people on the train are adults. The rest of them are children. There are 45 adults on the train, so how many are there in total? So it sounds complicated, but really it's actually quite an easy one because it says there are 45 adults and that makes up 30%. So 10% must be 15. Because look here, it's telling us 30% is 3 lots of 10%, which gives us 45. We're splitting it into 10%. So 45 divided by 3 gives us our 10%, which is 15. Then we would have to work out the whole. As you can see, 15 times 10 is 150. That means there are 150 people on the train in total. If you're not sure about how to work them out, then please do keep going through these slides until you understand it, because they will help you to work it out. Next question, it says 75% of year 6 are boys. There are 36 boys. How many children are there in total? So 75% is the same as saying 75 out of 100. So 75 out of 100 as another fraction is 3/4. So that's how we know 3/4 of our number in total are the 36 boys. So let's split that up so that we know what each quarter represents. So we need to do 36 divided by 3. That would give us 12. And our last quarter would be 12 as well. So altogether, what is the whole of this number? What is 12 times 4? Well done if you know that in total there are 48 children in year 6. So I'd just like you to look at green task carefully now, because you'll all be able to do this. It says, if 9 is 10% of a number, what is the number? So imagine 9 is in one of these, which means 9 must be in all of them because it's been split equally into 10. So I would expect you to do 9 times 10 to work that out. On B, if 9 is 20%, what is the number? So each 20%, I would expect you to then write 9 underneath it and show me very clearly that you can split your bar model up into 20%, which is obviously 2 lots of 10%. So I would expect you to write it all the way along until you've figured it out. So 5 lots of 9, which means 9 times 5 will give us our whole number. Here it says, if 9 is 30% of a number, what is the number? So this is a little bit more complicated. We can do some of them equally. That's 30% and that's 30%. So I can put 9 and 9 here. To work out one part, to find out what this final one represents, you need to work out what 10% would be. So 9 divided by 3 will give us 10%. So 10% would be 3. So I would put 3 in that last box. Then I would need to do 9, add 9, add 9, add the final 3. And that would tell me my answer in the end. If it says, what is 60% of the number? Then I would expect you to add the correct amount of 30%. You know that that is 30% and that is 30%. So I would expect you to do 9, add 9 for this part. And then I want you to see if you can notice any links between your answers. For orange, I want you to draw the bar models in your book to support you. That is going to be the easiest way that you work it out. Again, you really need to know the links between your percentages and your fractions in this one to see how many parts you need to draw in your bar model. So for the first one, if 28 is 25% of a number, what is the number? The first thing you need to do is work out what is 25% as a fraction. you should know that 25 out of 100 is the same as a quarter. So I'm going to split mine into quarters. And it's saying here, if 28 is 1/4, then what is your whole number? So then you would have to do 28 times 4 to find out the whole. Again, I'm going to be splitting this one into quarters as well. It says if 45 is 75% of a number, what is the number? You've just been told here that 25% is quarters. So 45 is 75%, which is 3/4. So that's 45 equals all of those 3. To tell us what that final part is, you need to work out what one of these 3 would be here. So what is 45 divided by 3? Well done. If you know that that is 15, so one part is 15, then I would expect you to write that in the end. And then you'd have to do 45, add 15 to get your whole in total. Again, it says for B, if 18 is 60% of a number, what is the number in total? So we've been given 60%, so why don't we split our bar model into 10? If it says it's 60% of a number, then how many blocks of 10 am I going to be putting a line under? Well done if you said it's 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 60% equals 18. So I obviously need to work out what the last 40% will be. To do this, I need to find out what 10% is. Now we know that 10% equals each of all these blocks, and we know that 18 is 60%. So I now need to work out what 18 divided by 6 would be to find 10%. Well done if you know that that means that each block represents 3, because 18 split into 6 equal parts would be 3. Remember, they have to be equal. So we know that each part equals 3 now. So I can fill these in. I know that that's 3, that's 3, that's 3, and the last block is 3. So 60% of a number, but the number altogether, we've got 18, and then we need to add on 3, 3, 3, and 3. So 4 lots of 3 is 12. Add it all together, and that's how you'd work out that one. For the red one, you need to look at the table, and it shows you the number of people who have visited a cinema, and then you need to fill it in. Start by looking at your total. Your number of visitors will have to add up to 2,240, and obviously your total here in percentages, you can't go past 100%. So you'll have to have 100 in that box. Let's look here first. 10% of visitors went on a Thursday. So what is 10% of 2,240? So that means this total divided by 10. So then you would start putting in the parts that you know. So that means 224 visitors went on Thursday. For the next part, I want you to look at the relationship between this and this. So 224, if I times that by 2, I will get 448. So I would do the same here. I'd do 10% times 2 to get 20%. Now it's a case of working out the different parts of the boxes in the table. So really challenge yourself to see if you can work that out. Purple is about trial and error. I want you to tell me, what could these number sentences be to make sense? So 10% of something, so you can make up a number here, and then tell me what percentage of 50 that would be. So it's about trial and error, really pushing yourself. Please email us if you have any questions, and really push yourself today. Well done, Year 6.